Hello everybody. Today we're going to be commentating on some Lackey Grand Prix gameplay. I'll be piloting my big Nativity deck, and I'm going up against Justin, aka the Guardian, and he's one of the players who's decided to try a 100 card deck of his own. He's been slowly refining his list. It's getting better and better as time goes on. So it should be a really interesting game. The matches in the 100 card meta are quite interesting, I would say, and probably some of the funnest redemption I've ever played, I would say. I know the 100 card decks are really polarizing, but I think as this game is going to show, it's going to show how interesting and how complicated redemption can get as a game. And it pushes redemption to its theoretical limits. So I win the die roll. I'm going to reveal his hand, take a look at what he's got going on there, get some information. He has no heroes, but he has quite a bit of defense. No lost souls over there. But what I'm really trying to do is trying to set up a turn 1 harvest time. Using Golgotha to grab some defense. I'm setting down Gabriel and looking at his hand one more time. Double check. I'm trying to get a res revealer down here to negate his neutrals and get my harvest time. I could have played a Resurrection right now to put a Res Revealer into play, but I'm deciding to try and hold that as a surprise for my defense. Res Revealer can put a Herod's Temple into play at dominant speed, and Herod's like that surprise angle a lot. So there's Res Revealer coming out to play the harvest time. There's a real question, do I want to play all of them from our decks? And I decided, yeah, even though he's playing 100 cards and has 14 Lost Souls, I do want all of my Lost Souls online. And we'll see here, he's playing a lot more that care about entering the battlefield and doing effects right away. So this decision by me is going to pay off for me in the long term, I think, especially because I'm negating all of his Lost Souls right now with the Res Revealer. So I'm putting a Complacent into play, which will make that Grapes of Wrath and that 3 Woes a little bit more useless in his hands during this battle phase. It's not the strongest attack here. I don't think I have any enhancements to back up my Res Revealer, but it's so worth it for me just to get all these Lost Souls out early. So let's calculate how many effects he has to deal with. He has to deal with Complacent, Humble, Wicked, Distressed, Dole, Accusers, Crowds, Color Guard, Orphans, and Forsaken. In addition to every turn, I get to activate Imitate on a Lawless. The power of 100 card decks really shines in where you can get out an early harvest time and get 14 of really good Lost Souls into play. And you can switch up the Lost Soul package depending upon the type of deck you want to be. So he's going to be blocking with a Lying Prophet, put me in special initiative, discard my Res Revealer. And it might have been worth it to fire off the Resurrection here to put another Res Revealer into play from my deck to negate his neutrals, but he did have a Distressed out, so that would not have worked. So I'm holding on to the Resurrection for another day. And maybe there's a world I can use it on offense once dominants are not restricted during battle. But yeah, the unfortunate thing is I would have loved to keep my Res Revealer around to negate all his artifacts and his Lost Souls, but that's just not in the cards. So let's see. On his side of the field, he has a Dole, a Forsaken, a Wicked, a Crowds, Distressed, and a Imitate, and a Humble. I think he forgot to use his Imitate trigger here. And then these 100 card mirror matches, using Imitate on a Lawless every turn is like a really good thing. Okay, go into captivity is going to snipe my Gabe. Not the end of the world. But I imagine if Guardian is going up against 50 card decks and he has like stocks and go into captivity, he's playing a hero control game. So while losing out on Gabe is annoying, it's not the end of the world for me because I have so many more heroes in my deck. But I do want to try and keep as many Nativity heroes in play as I can right now to make my Star Bethlehem turn really big. That does chip away at that. Okay, he's playing Crouch Choice and grabbing Daniel the Apocalyptist. He's a really good card still, even though Daniel the Treasured is being played a lot. Guardian hasn't forgotten about Daniel the Apocalyptist. So what his deck is doing is basically a very heavy defense deck. The ratio of his deck, he probably only has like a couple heroes, and primarily everything else is defense. So think like the big brown deck that I played on this channel earlier. That deck for me was playing just Daniel, and then the rest of the defense was brown. But I was using Daniel the Treasured and trying to rely on Choose the Blocker. But it looks like he's going to go for a different strategy using the other Daniel and just try to do a fight by the numbers strategy. And the cool thing about this Daniel is that you can get to him if he dies a bunch. You can only play one copy of him, but you have Daniel's Guardian, you have Watchman, I guess you don't have Victorious Being if you're using him. So negating my fortresses. So he's negating Herod's Temple here that I got out of my deck. Herod Archelaus cannot be prevented. He played a 3 Woes on my Dole, and then he attacked with Daniel in exchange to him. I forgot he was negating Herod's Temple here, so I could have tried to block with Outsiders maybe, but I knew he had the Retribution for Sin. So let's see. He's trying to play Retribution for Sin to negate and shuffle me, but I blocked with Herod's Guard, which prevented the first good card played in battle, and he forgot about that. that's going to make this prevented retribution for sin. And because I only have 3 cards in my hand, his humble is not working. So this was a pretty big misplay by him. He could have just played his search first and then played retribution for sin. So I looked out here. My hand is pretty dead at this point against a Daniel. So I really need to find some more defense. So he's playing search. He's going to be grabbing a prayer of power, which is not what I want to see here because that will guarantee him winning the battle. It feels bad to give up early battle, but that's what the 100-card decks do. They're weakest at the first turn, but stronger as the game goes on. So this is not unexpected for me to be losing the first battle. I just gotta turn the game around eventually. Gotta give up a soul, hand over the hopper. That doesn't do anything. Trying to keep all my other effects online. The sad thing about this Daniel, I can't negate him with accusers, which is unfortunate. All right, we drew a no straw, Herod's guard, upkeep. I gotta remember my lawless trigger, imitate a lawless, get some of that defense going. I have a humble, so if I grab executioner, it's not a completely dead card. And I already have a Herod Antipas, and I have a Herod's guard that can get to Herod Agrippa if I need it. So I'll just take the executioner here, although I would have preferred probably any other card here. Now it's my turn. I don't really have a good attack. I have the second coming. If I attack into him, I know he just has so much defense. So I decide just to pass the turn and try to wait this one out. I do have Herod Antipas plus Golgotha plus Humble, which can stall for quite a while against a Daniel. So my hope here is he doesn't have a way to get rid of Golgotha and or Humble. He's putting his 3 woes that he played as, I forget what alignment he did. Probably evil. I'm going to keep my duel negated, and he's going to bow. I really want to do an outsider's block on him, but he's negating Herod's temple when he attacks, which is very unfortunate. All right, so I know dominants are being restricted. I know my enhancements cannot be prevented. So I'm just going to go for the guaranteed block while I have access to it. I don't know what tools he has to disrupt this later on in the game. So I could go for something sneaky like Herod's guard to somebody, or I don't know. But I'm just going to go for this block. I need to stall, let my offense come online. So, and we can do that again next turn. And Herod Antipas is currently protected by Color Guard and Herod's Temple. Feel pretty good about keeping him down there. Upkeep, we're going to imitate a lawless. That's a whiff if I've ever seen one. I would have loved to draw on the cross here. Daniel would have been good. But instead, we drew 20 shekels, which is a dead card. He has, let's see, he has hand protection, so my 20 shekels really aren't doing anything. His trusted politicians is negated by my distress, so that's trusted politicians isn't really doing anything, so I don't know why I'm bouncing him. Maybe to try and get his hand size up a little bit. What am I thinking here? I'm going in with the Victorious Being. I think I'm just trying to get his woes off the table. If it's an evil woes, I can go Victorious Being into Mary, who can snipe the woes. And I'm trying to think if I want to take from reserve, because if I take from reserve, then his humble is online. Although the enhancement would be nice here. Okay, yeah, I'll take from reserve. Okay, so his humble's online, but he does get 2 duel triggers. So if he takes 2 cards with duel, his humble's not going to be online. See all the decisions that we're having to make? It's quite a lot, but it feels like I'm using my brain to the max. And either that feels really exhilarating or really exhausting or really, I think for me, it feels more on the exhilarating side of things to mentally like push myself and see how over time, if I can become more and more aware of all these different layered effects that happen in Redemption. This is probably like, this is the gym. This is the gym, the mental gym. Play Harvest Time, put 14 Lost Souls that all do different things, put down a fortress, put down territory class stuff. You have to really be on top of keeping track of what. So for example, he's blocking here and he forgets that I have accusers out. And he has a humble and he grabbed 2 cards. So it's like, oh man. And then I have the foresight and the awareness to point that out, which is really cool. All right, so Mary versus the Wandering Israelites. I did not expect to win this battle here because right now I can just do a Herod's Temple activation and toss down the Wandering Israelites. And there's a complacent out, so he can't use a dominant to stop me. I'm going to activate that, reveal a shipwreck, and then toss for 7. Now he's in special initiative, and all enhancements are getting tossed, and you can't play enhancements that are getting tossed in special initiative, so he can't do anything. Marie for the win. That's crazy how I just turned 1 card into a lost soul. 1 Victorious Being. I got rid of his 3 rows, and I got a lost soul, and I got rid of his Wandering Israelites. Like, that's really big. That was a big turn for me. All right, the momentum of the game is slowly shifting away. We're able to keep stalling him. He has an Unknown Nations out, which Mary can just negate and reserve. I love having Mary in these 100-card decks, being able to consistently attack your opponent's territory and wear them down. And got the Herods playing defense, a lot of options. Deceiver. One of my favorite things to do with Herods is put Herod Antipas down and then block with Herod's Executioner. And instead of equipping foreign horses onto the executioner, I can equip it to the guy in my territory, Herod Antipas. So, and then I use Herod's executioner to ban to Herod Antipas. Herod's Antipas ability will trigger to grab a enhancement from my reserve, and then I can do the interrupt the battle, draw 2 and play. So that works. That's like a pretty good block if opponent has drawn or searched and you don't have a futile inquisition in your hand. You can just do that play and grab 1. So he attacks with Daniel. I blocked with Herod Antipas, did another chump block, saved myself another turn. And we're gonna continue on in this game here. I watch out for Gomer. She's a cannot be negated band. So I gotta be careful about putting my outsiders down and stuff. All right, he's up to 11 cards in hand. He had to discard a bunch. Lion's Den, Destruction from Persia. When I build these 100 card decks, I'm really trying to prevent people from using their enhancements on offense and defense. So you see how my attacks with Mary are just like, okay, my initiative, okay, activate Herod's Temple, toss you down. Your enhancements are useless. And on defense, I have like Herod's like, okay, scat, no straw, and Futile Inquisition, your enhancements don't do anything. All right, he's playing during his discard phase a Murder's Command to ping out my Res Revealer. Upkeep, gotta remember my triggers. Imitate Lawless, pretty easy crouch choice grab there. Love imitating Lawless and hitting a crouch choice. And now I have Son of God's Second Coming, so I can take some of these Lost Souls off the table. Let's get his Humble out of there because I want to really hamper his defense with my accusers. And it's a crucial decision here, but I'm gonna get rid of his hand protection so I can start 20 shuckling his hands and seeing how much I can get through. So let's take a peek here. What is he sitting on? He has Angel Lord, doesn't do anything, Grapes. He has a Scattered, Descent Against Moses, and a bunch of white enhancements that I'm not letting him play. I'm running out of options to chump Daniel with, so that's a future 10 problem. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do to attack. All I have in my hand is an Angel of the Winds and a crowd choice that I think I'm holding for something. I don't know what. Am I just going to send the Mary here? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get my hand. Yeah, I was too scared to attack, so I just decided to pass. Playing some defense. This deck is not a defense heavy deck. I think I'm just drawing like a lot of defense. So I figure, okay, if I just make the game go longer, I can draw into more of my offense and have a better chance of breaking through. Because I don't think a single Mary is going to be getting through all of that. So I'm realizing I'm running out of options to deal with Daniel. And I looked at his hand and I didn't see a way for him to get to his Daniel if I kill it. So my reasoning here is like, okay, what if I just killed Daniel before he entered battle? So I went crouch choice as evil, and then I'm going to discard Daniel. He doesn't have any way to protect him, and I'm just really banking on he didn't draw a way to get to Daniel from his discard pile this turn. And so if that's the case, it's like a high risk, high reward thing. He has all these good enhancements that are just stranded in his hand, and that buys me another turn that I otherwise wouldn't have had. But if he just goes Watchman and goes, oh, Watchman's like being negated. But if he just went Daniel's Guardian, got Daniel back, I don't think I had great blocks. And it looks like he doesn't. He's having to play a lot of stuff down from his hand here. The Nativity deck loves opponents who play all of their evil characters out, because in the late game I can just attack with John the Forerunner and paralyze all their evil characters and walk in for the rescue. But I have to worry about John the Forerunner negating Lost Souls. So probably that's like a late game where I have the cross up or something. All right, gonna imitate my Lawless. It'll draw like the 4th card. Let's grab some good enhancements. I love how Imitate a Lawless can grab me some good cards with Crouch Choice and Reprimand Repercussion. I'll put down my negated Elizabeth. Let's bounce Trusted Politicians again, because why not? Because why the heck not? And then I have an attack here, so I guess I'm just, what am I doing? Sending a Mary. Mary with 1 enhancement in my hand. Get rid of his Unknown Nation. Okay. Go to my reserve, grab the Coming Prince. Okay. He has a Dole trigger, I think. Okay. And he doesn't have a Humble anymore. My Accuser's Lost Soul is going to be negating a lot of what defense is trying to do. So we'll see here. I don't know what's going to happen. If Mary dies, I have a way to get back to her next turn with the Victorious Being. Let's see. I have 53 cards. He has 56. So we've been going at a pretty good pace of drawing our decks. We're almost to 50 cards left in our deck, which is what most decks start with in their decks, which is funny. But we're playing an absolute slugfest right now. Okay, he's getting a Transgressors, which is concerning because Transgressors can go get all the curses from his reserve, which could negate my Lost Souls. But luckily I have a Distress down, which would stop that. Mary, backed up by Complacent at Herod's Temple. What a great attack. The best ways to stop it are banding attacks. So he has Gomer. I can band to somebody. So yeah, he's going for Gomer. What's Gomer gonna do? No, maybe? Deceiver into... Wonder why he didn't go for Gomer. It's a Cyrus the Great choosing not to band. It's a very interesting block because he knows I have Reprimand, Repercussion, and Coming Prince in my hand. So I'm not sure. I'm just gonna activate Herod's Temple and toss him down, I guess. So yeah, maybe it's another blunder here. So let's see, like if he banded, I'd probably just let Mary die there. Again, next turn. But yeah, next turn, probably gonna attack Gomer, force him to continue to have to block with lone evil characters and just try to toss them all down. All right, I'm up to 4 Lost Souls. I've played Son of God Second Coming, so I just have to get through one more. And he has 1 Lost Soul, so things are looking pretty good for me. We'll see what he can do to turn this game around. But yeah, the more the game goes on, the better his defense gets. But I still have a lot of firepower left. I haven't done any of my Star of Bethlehem shenanigans or Star of Bethlehem protection. I have a lot of good enhancements left, but my reserve is starting to look thin, and I have used my Coming Prince in a toss battle, so I can't reuse my Star of Bethlehem yet. It's been a relatively slow game for me. Oh, he just has to pass again. Oh no. So if I can just find a way to lock in. He has, okay, I whiff another Lawless, but that's okay. I drew a Daniel, which is interesting. I don't have any enhancements to back him up though. His hand is protected again somehow. Is this a pass angle? I'm going to discard the Guardians of Your Souls because I don't think Brown has many ways to protect Lost Souls from rescue. I mean, there's like Uzzah, but I don't think he's running Uzzah. And I think Falling Away is still in my deck. So if I wanted to have Falling Away as an option to choose the blocker, I don't want to play my Guardians out. And I still have 2 Futile Inquisitions in my deck. So another reason not to. All right, so it's his turn again. He types in the chat, this is ridiculous. So I'm guessing he didn't draw away to Daniel again, which is one of the downsides of 100 cards, I guess, because like you're only relying on a couple of heroes. One of the best cards for these type of decks that Justin and I are doing, which are like the really heavy defense and a light offense, is Great White Throne, because you can just get to Daniel every turn basically. He's doing Imitate on crowds, which is preventing me from using Shekels to look at his hand. Okay, yeah, so if I'm building a 100 card deck with Daniel in it, I'm definitely running Great White Throne. He has to discard 3 enhancements from his deck. Ooh. Okay, he discarded 3 enhancements from his hand. It's my turn. He has crowds, but I can still look at his reserve though. Crowds only protects his hand and deck, not his reserve. So I see that he has a 3 woes in his reserve, and I'm taking note of that for later because Herod Antipas can grab an evil card from a reserve. So if I need a copy of 3 woes, I know where to get it. All right, I played Great White Throne, trying to get out more nativity stuff. Put down a character that's negated. Yeah, in retrospect, this was a bad idea, and we'll see why in a couple seconds, but I was trying to get more nativity heroes out, and I forgot about his distressed. Okay, so I'm thinking about, what do I want to do? Do I want to fire off my Star of Bethlehem and just try to get a guaranteed win here? Try to find a possessing spirit or something, but he has a distressed, and I didn't, so I got it. So I have Gospel Unity, which is significant. So if I can just get rid of that distress somehow, I don't know. Right, all right, I'm back. I took a little dinner break, had some in and out. So where were we here? The Guardian is down 1-4. What is he going to do? I would say the best way to deal with big defenses is use an offense that can only combat a slice of their defense, not the whole defense. If you try to go card for card against a big defense, you're gonna lose. So for example, like pushing Mary into battle, negating their banding, and then doing Herod's Temple, you're only gonna have to fight a subset of their characters. Or, for example, having a Daniel offense and choosing their blockers. You can maybe choose some blockers, dictate the battle, and only deal with a subset of their characters. But anytime you're attacking and you're letting them block and dictate the battle on their terms, it's without negating enhancements and characters, it's going to be really tough for you to fight through that. All right, he found his ways to his Daniel. He has that Watchman there, which can go get Daniel from his discard pile. I wish I could banish Daniel from his discard pile. That would be pretty sweet. I wonder if they would ever print a card that says, like, banish a hero. Like, territory class, banish a hero. I would love to banish their Daniel, and they can only play 1 copy of him. So he uses Imitate to copy my Humble. That means his Watchman is going to be able to work, whereas normally the accusers would turn it off. Here comes that Daniel again, but I do get a dull trigger, so hopefully I can find something here to help me. Contagious Fear might, and I have the Herod Antipas plus Golgotha, which will make the first first enhancement I play every battle cannot be prevented. And then I'm going to use Herod to kidnap his 3 woes from his reserve. Even though I have an orphans out, I have a wicked lost soul, and I'm playing it on Herod Antipas, which makes it so that it's regardless of protection. It's one of my favorite things to do in Herod's is play orphans and also play soul protection. So we were able to stall another turn, but not really finding anything in terms of offense here. We're going to imitate a lawless, found a falling away here, and I jumped the gun on this because my plan here is like, oh, I'll just falling away his Daniel, and I'll choose the blocker with Daniel. But if he has a Daniel in battle, I can't bring another Daniel into battle. So I'm going to preemptively do this, and it's a big misplay on my part because, yeah, I was trying to go for the win here, but I forgot I couldn't do that. So I'm just asking a clarifying question, and I realized that good thing I didn't try to attack first. Yeah, I could have used that falling away to get me another turn, buy me another turn, but instead I just threw it all away. Let's take a look at his hand, see what we have to work through here. He hasn't found his Son of God or Second Coming yet, which means all of our lost souls have just been so annoying for him this entire game. Let's see what he's working with. He has 4 good enhancements, or 4 evil enhancements. Do I think I can work through that? I'm going to keep trying to go for the win here. I have some nativity heroes. This isn't the best Star Bethlehem in the world. And here I'm going to do a quick misplay that Guardian is going to call me out on. Because I was thinking like, oh, I can activate star abilities, but Star Bethlehem only triggers on good star abilities. So the reason I did this is because I'm so used to activating the star ability on delivered to discard top card of people's decks with Star Bethlehem. So note to self, you can't actually do this, but I will get to draw some cards. I was trying to draw some more enhancements to try and fight through here, and I didn't draw all that much, if I'm being honest with you. I drew a bunch of garbage. So now I was like, okay, how am I gonna break through? And then I thought, okay, here's a new idea. What if I just put a big banding chain into battle, maybe backed up by Glory of the Lord? And could they beat that? I can't play Glory of the Lord during battle. Maybe I have to play it now. So my reasoning is like, okay, I don't think if I attack with Magi, Joseph, Mary, I don't think they can block me with enough defense to beat that. But I think there's a couple of problems wrong with my plan. Trusted politicians, if they block, they can withdraw all but one, which would withdraw everybody. And then they have Prince of Persia, which could ban to a Persian. And then they have Gomer. So yeah, I just kind of threw away a lot of dominance on this turn trying to go for the win. I have a resurrection in my hand, which is sitting there. All right, so here I'm going for my plan. Just pushing a big banding chain into battle. Oh, I don't have a resurrection. That's a 3 woes where my head is. So if I was worried about trusted politicians, they have a humble copy by imitate. Okay, so what did Mary hit? Oh, Mary negated their dole because I was worried about them grabbing an evil character. So anyways, yeah, they had a couple ways to block this here. Trusted politicians would have been devastating, but they're going to go for Gomer, banded to Herod the Great, choosing a hero to block, and my magnified multitude is not protected, so they're just going to bring that into battle. If I had Angel of the Lord here, that would have been amazing, but I don't. So yeah, I kind of fumble this block here. I'm going to discard my other heavenly hosts because I do not need them anymore. I don't want them to get chosen as blockers. I'm going to discard a Nostra, which is crazy to do against a Daniel, but I already have a copy of Nostra, and I reason that the game probably not going to last that long where I'm going to have to use both of my Nostras, but I don't know. Okay, their imitate is doing work. It's getting crowds, it's getting humble, it's getting lawless. Every turn is grabbing something else. Yep. So yeah, it would have been nice if I could have saved my falling away and 20 shekelled a hero out of their hand and converted it. So I got a little impatient and messed up, but I won't make that mistake again. Because yeah, I can 20 shekels their Blood Avenger and then play it down and then falling away's Blood Avenger. Oh wait, Blood Avenger is a 3. What's its numbers on defense? Is it 2-4? So if I go Daniel, attack, choose it to block, I'd have to rely on accusers negating it. That would be a cool attack. Anyways, Daniel's coming in. I have humble, so I get to do humble things. So let's see, Deceiver. I'm running out of things. I'll do Herod Antipas. Grab an evil card from a reserve. Let's grab the Possessing Spirits. Try to set up a choose the blocker KO punch next turn. And what am I going to do here? Am I just going to die? Yeah, I'm just going to die. I'm giving a soul. I'm not trying to play Nostra. I don't want him to play cards that draws him cards. And now I'm trying to set up the Possessing Spirit KO. I have Gospel Unity, and I have a Daniel choose a blocker. But they have a Distressed, I think, but I have a woes I can use to negate his Distressed. So I wonder what outs he has to this. I guess I can use, I'll do another imitate on lawless. I whiff. Maybe I should have imitated open hand. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. During my upkeep, I'm gonna use my 3 woes to negate his Distressed, and his Dole. Okay, get those lost souls out of the way. Now we put the Possessing Spirit down, and now what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? Activate Great White Throne. Why am I doing that? I do not know. I do not know. Am I trying to, I don't know what I'm doing. His hand wasn't protected. I should have just checked his hand. Okay, I'm putting down some characters from my hand. Don't know why. Oh, there's Angel of the Lord that I knew about. Okay. Yeah, Angel of the Lord's my possessing spirit, so I just can't win on the spot. Now I'm just attacking good old fashioned way. I'm gonna attack, negate, and reserve somebody. Who is the most annoying? So here I should have negated and reserved the Prince of Persia because my territory is protected and my hand's protected. So he can just block with Prince of Persia and kill Mary. So yeah, a little mess up here. Even if I negated and reserved Prince of Persia, he had, well, I guess I was negating his Darius's satraps. So yeah, Prince of Persia cannot be negated. I have to reserve Mary. Unfortunate. And that was a mistake by me. I'm getting really sloppy in this late game here. I think the reason why I activated Great White Throne because I knew he had Angel of the Lord was going to blow up my possessing spirit. I knew I was going to be pushing a Mary. So I wanted to do a Mary, and if he blocked with multiple characters, I would activate Great White Throne, force him to withdraw all but one, and then I would toss down the rest, the remaining hero, evil character. So my plan was pretty good, but I just missed the Prince of Persia there. Imitate a Lawless. He's trying to get more defense or something. The Shipwreck. She'll take Shipwreck on Golgotha or Temple is good. Yep. Surprised he didn't shipwreck Golgotha, honestly. But I guess I still have a humble, causing him trouble. So he's trying to get his hand size down, going to battle. Here comes Daniel. I have a Mayhem in my hand that I can't play during battle. Prevent the next good with Herod's Guard. Herod the Great. Play Herod's Temple. And then I will choose his Angel of the Winds to block. And that's going to get prevented by Herod's Guard because he prevents the next good card played in battle. So any time a good card is put into battle, that counts as playing it. So unless he has a Silver Brigade enhancement to stop this, Herod the Great is going to get the block. Maybe that was an option last turn, but I think I wanted to try and go for the win. So let's see. I have another copy of Possessing Spirit in my deck. I just need to maybe draw it. It could be in my reserve. I forget. Lot going on this game. Lot going on. Okay. Drew 3. I don't know why I didn't activate the Virgin Birth there. Oh, because I wanted to get Mary. I'm a genius. I can use the territory class to play it and go grab a hero from my reserve because I want to do my same plan as last turn. This time not repeat the mistakes of my ancestor. Attack with Mary, go for the win, negate and reserve Prince. And let's see, I have a Magnificat, I have a Flight into Egypt, and I have a Lost Child found. And am I out of white enhancements in the reserve? I might be. So let's see. I have 4 power from Magnificat, 4 power from Flight. Sorry, my voice is like rashed. And I have 2 power from Lost Child Found. So I can toss down anybody that is 10 or less. But he just drew a Rebellious Israelites, which is 11. So I just gotta hope he doesn't block with them, basically. Here comes Gomer. Gomer's going to ban to Korah, which makes the banned ability cannot be negated. And then he's going to ban to the Rebellious Israelites, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to activate this. I'm going to force him to withdraw all but one by popping my Deceiver. Now, I'm just hoping I want him to put his Rebellious Israelites into his territory. But unfortunately, he keeps it around. And I can't play Mayhem because Complacent is still around. So I can't toss him down. I could try to win a battle, but he has the card that negates a good card and activates a curse from his reserve. And if he did that, I don't think I'd be able to stop it. So I'm just going to die. I don't want to contest. Let him keep those cards in his hand, and I'll just attack with Mary again next turn because I have a Victorious Being. And then we'll pass the turn. We're clearly running out of options here for blocking Daniel. But hopefully he's running out of options to block Mary. So let's see. He hasn't played Son of God Second Coming yet. So in theory, he could have 4 points right now. So he needs 1 more to rescue. So this game's getting really close. He imitates a humble. That imitate and the fact that I haven't been able to negate neutrals is quite problematic this game. Daniel's coming in. What do I have access to here? Running out of options. I do have humbles. That's the only thing that's going for me here. I have Abusive Soldiers. Get initiative. Let's take a look at his hand. Get some good information. And let's see. He has Watchman, which I'll pop. And wait a second. He only has 1 good enhancement. Is that right? So I'll play Cannot Be Prevented Nostra, which will top deck Daniel, puts him in special initiative. And he didn't have an enhancement that would stop this. Oh, he did. Oh, I forgot. Okay. But he's using the search ability, so I get a Dole trigger. So Dole can search my deck for an Old Testament enhancement. So he's not negating Old Testament enhancements, so I can still play this. He should be out of he should be out of enhancements. Abusive Soldiers plus Nostra. Love it. I did not expect to see a hand of no enhancements there, or virtually no enhancements. So that was very fortunate. I did not expect to get that block, but the only bad thing about all of that is he drew his Son of God. So Son of God is pinging complacent, and Justin's very happy to see that go. So his Grapes of Wrath is now live. I'm looking at my deck. I'm like, okay, what do I have left here? My turn, I drew Angel of the Lord, which is great to draw the turn after you Complacent gets moved off the table. Imitate Open Hand. I was trying to see if I could just choose a blocker and get the win, but he does have a doubt in his hand. So if I go like Daniel choose a blocker and Angel of the Lord his blocker, then he can doubt. I really wish I would have thought more about what his hand has. So here I'm going to go for a Mayhem to try and shuffle his doubt away, I think. All right. So I am going to be losing my hand of good enhancements here. All right. Not really worth it. Oh, man. Okay. Now I'm going to peek again, see if his doubt is still there. I should have been bouncing his Blood Avenger. Let's see what is in his hand. There's the doubt. Oh, man. He has Glory of the Lord, Grapes, Daniel. I don't... Yeah. Okay. All right. Do I even attack this turn? I wonder. Lost Child Found bounce something. Can bounce my Golgotha, get my Possessing Spirit, but now I don't have Gospel Unity because I played my Deceiver down like a dummy. And now I have Outsiders out there, so I'm gonna have to get rid of Outsiders somehow. There's my Possessing Spirit. I don't think I can fire this off this turn. My Woes is negating his Distressed. All right, so guess I'm just gonna have to pass here. Why am I getting down so many cards out of my hand? I don't know. I couldn't tell you why I'm discarding down to 2. Maybe I'm just really trying to get my Humble online or something. I have no idea. I have no idea. 20 shekels. Bounces his Blood Avenger. Interesting. And then he's playing that as evil to negate and discard last enhancement of opponent alignment. Opposite alignment played whatever. I don't. Okay. But that technically should have been negated by Martha, or the territory class Nativity character I had in my territory. Anyways, I missed that, so here we go. Coming to attack here. I know I still have the cross in my deck, so my reasoning is if I just get to my cross, really, he had a Daniel in his hand, he didn't attack me? That is bizarre. I was like really dead to that. I guess I could have done it Outsiders. All right, so I'm revealing the cross with my Imitate. Oh, you know what I'm trying to do? I was trying to set up for a John the Forerunner attack. That's why I'm getting so many cards out of my hand. Because I was trying to get my hand size down below 2 in order to paralyze the Persian Horseman. And 20 shekels plays last, like hopefully he only has one evil character in his hand here. So like that's what my game plan was. Oh, okay. I see the line here. Bouncing Blood Avenger could turn it into a hero now. He had Daniel Glory. So like, why didn't he just attack with, I guess he's maybe scared of Outsiders. Maybe he knew so yeah, I'm still going for my John the Forerunner angle, trying to get cards out of my hand, trying to get down. But let's see. Herod the Great's still an option. I can go Herod the Great, choose Blood Avenger. So that'll help me out here. It's this awkward end game. So let's see. He has 3 Lost Souls. I have 4. Did he play Son of God Second Coming or just Son of God? I don't know. I forget. He's imitating his crowds. He's getting his hand protection back up. Yep. You don't want me to keep attacking your hand there. Well, I have John the Forerunner out. Fear my late game. All right, he's coming to battle. He must have drawn an enhancement or something. Here comes Daniel. He has 20 shekels, right? Prevent the next. Go to Herod. Choose Blood Avenger. Your special, or your initiative. All right. Does he have a white battle winner here? I don't know. Nope, that works. Wow. There's a Prisoner of Gaza. You should have just discarded it, man. I'm just going to 20 shekels bounce and play if I can get out of your hand protection, which I can do if I move my woes to the crowds. Okay. So let's see. I drew delivered star ability. That's a way to the cross. Okay. So if I can just get rid of my Outsiders, then I can win the game, I think. Okay. Imitate a Lawless. Grab an enhancement. That could help me. That'll buy me another turn against the Daniel with the Golgotha out. Very nice. All right. So the plan, the way I'm going to get rid of my Outsiders is by using Great White Throne. So activate the cross on my Golgotha, restrict the dominance, and he can't use his territory class enhancement to negate that, I think. I'll use Great White Throne, then I'll discard my Outsiders, get Gospel Unity, and then since I have my woes negating his distressed, I can put this on his Daniel, and now I have the Daniel choose the blocker in my hand. Indominants are restricted, and I don't know if he has any orange enhancements. The chances of that is really low, so this should be game here. And right now he's just double checking, and we're confirming that my woes is still on his distressed. I had a timestamp, and I think that's gonna do it. Here comes Daniel. I can't overstate like how good Daniel is for the late game of Nativity, especially with Possessing Spirit and choose the blocker stuff, because you can use all your Nativity enhancements. Like you can use Hospitality and Bethany on Daniel. Crazy. But yeah, just like late game of the Cross plus Daniel plus Mary plus Herod's Temple is really powerful. And also John the Forerunner. Like Nativity probably has one of the best late games now. It was really decent with Mary and John before, but got even better. I can't say how important choose the blocker is. Negate neutrals is really important. I don't want to play a deck that doesn't do some negate neutrals. Or if I don't play negate neutrals, I need to be playing a choose the blocker deck offense. So yeah, I think the most viable offenses right now are ones where you can do some choose the blocker, negate neutrals, or do an attack with a big banning chain that protects opponent's deck and reserve from them. Like Jadua, the priest, can do that, and also Meshach. Do I think Joshua decks are really viable? I don't think so. I don't think Joshua decks are that viable against big decks specifically. If they're trying to win a war of attrition, like it's not going to happen. Anyways, I'll maybe save some of those thoughts for a later video, but thanks for watching. Looks like he's out of options here, and that's game. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.